Hello and welcome everybody to the 6th installment of Glozel is Real. Based on the modern age system by Green Ronin, our heroines are still in, this is the second night in the Le Clos de Bourgogne mansion where you're spending your research time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a holiday, you're here to work.
It's still a little bit of.
It's a little bit of a holiday because the resort is beautiful.
Yeah.
So basically, you have investigated. You've investigated the town. You have bought a really big book with all of the information on the tablets of Glozel. So it's like really color, full plate pictures, and the transliteration. So you've taken this home. You've also been to the castle, which is the ruins of some kind of fortress that was built in the 12th century, which was basically a military installation where knights would have been to basically oversee this area. It was never lived in by royalty, but it was basically a military installation. There's really nothing there. It's on the top of a hill. The hill is pretty much solid stone, so it's rock. So you have tried to find the cave, but if it's there, then it's completely gone. So it's probably not there at all, because you wouldn't see where a cave could have been. You've also been to the church of Glozel, which was built in 1801. You've also kind of found out where the excavation was, which would have been north of the Champ des Morts on the ridge. And the Champ des Morts is the old graveyard before the church was built. And it's a little bit outside of Glozel. Glozel itself is a really lovely town. Twice a week there's a market on Mondays and Fridays. You took in the market on Monday. You bought some cheese. You also had some light lunch. Then you went home. You had dinner at the mansion, at the chateau. You also sat outside with the other guests to basically enjoy the evening. But the previous night you had a visitor. Somebody climbed up to the second floor window where you are, put a palm print onto the windowsill, and now they're gone. You could see that somebody had been standing there, but it's unclear how they got up because while there is a ladder, it's in the shed and it hasn't been moved in a long while. But Marie Roquefort, the proprietress of the hotel where you're staying, has co-opted a neighbor's dogs to basically roam around at night. She says that they're kind of stupid, but since they are big, they will probably, make noise at least if somebody enters. And Celeste
curiously approached.
Yeah, especially because they probably want food. Yeah. And,
Snack?
There's a human, they eat snacks. And Celeste has also sat down and put up her equipment because she didn't bring her ghost hunting equipment, but she did bring her camera, and it's an infrared camera, so she would be able to catch people walking around at night, and that would trip the camera. You've also investigated the Voynich manuscript, which basically is not too dissimilar to the tablets, although it was written much later, but it's kind of, there are some similarities. It's not the same, at least not at first glance, but you've basically downloaded the online version, which is fully accessible, and it's in full color. And you've spent some time on this to look at it, to kind of, because that's also a big secret. It was written in the 13th or 14th century, probably in Italy, but nobody has been able to decipher it, and it's a mystery just like the tablets. You have established that it's quite unlikely that Michel Junot actually knew of it. He may have known of it, but he wouldn't have seen it because it was first revealed in London. Mr. Voynich said, "Oh, I've got this manuscript, here it is." And then he moved to the United States, and it's been probably in the United States since the early 20th century, so Junot has probably never seen it, so he would not have been able to make comparisons between the two. But still, it's another mystery, maybe something for another time, and it's also intriguing. So now you are, basically in your room again. You have done some more work, and now it's time for bed. So Celeste puts everything in order, turns on everything, and then goes
we
to
move
bed.
everything to the door again to
And
make
lock
sure
the
that
door
they
as well.
can't move the handle.
And yeah, and then
Curling up and
I'm going
sleep
to
time, hopefully.
Make a communication check.
But I'm sleeping.
Yeah. Kana waits for no man. Okay.
Oh, double 3. So 3 on the stump die. That is, oh god, 14 plus 3 stunt die.
Okay, a 14 and 3 on the stunt die. You do get a little bit of a tingly feeling.
Oh god. Go away.
Are you saying this loudly?
Yeah.
Okay. 11, 14, 16. Okay,
Well,
Celeste hears you.
not loud
Yeah,
screaming, but I think
you're
more
speaking.
mumbling. But yeah, but I would be speaking, yeah.
Okay, so she didn't get the Kana, but she did hear you, and she's like, "What's going on?"
It tinkles. Make it stop.
Tinkles?
And probably by now I would also be like, what? Eyes open, just like peeking over the corner of the blanket. I can't feel anything.
It's weird that you're feeling something and I can't. But shh. And she gets up and she basically hunched over, walks to the window and peers out. 10, 11, 13, 15. I can't see anything. I mean, it's very dark.
You're standing in the way of the camera.
No, I'm not standing in the way of the camera. There is nobody on the windowsill because that I would see.
I wouldn't get out of bed, but I would have set up by now, and I would peek over to the door in hopes everything is still like barricaded and built up as it was. Maybe my mind made something up. I can't see anything, and the window's still closed.
Yeah, the window was closed last night as well. Okay, well, I mean, you did feel something, so something must have been here.
Celeste, she peeked out the closed window, right? She didn't open it? I will just pee myself out of bed and just like talk, stomp over. Not stomping, but I'm not very quiet. And I would just like open the window and would like lean safely, but lean a bit outside to look down.
Okay, make a perception check.
Just like to see if I can see some good doggos running around or anything else. Why am I doing that? Holy hell, I have a double 1. So 1 stunt die and the other die is a 2. It's the worst roll I think I've ever done. So I rolled a 4, 7.
You see nothing. It's completely dark outside. You also don't see the doggos.
I can't see anything. Why is it so dark?
She looks at you. Because it is night and we are in the country.
Wait. Amelie will walk back. She will grab her phone and will be flashlight on the phone, and she will lean out again and see if with some light there's anything she can see.
Okay, I don't know if a flashlight of a phone will reach 2 stories down.
No, it would be just if it's more on our height. Yes.
Yeah.
But
okay, so you don't see, you see a lot of nothingness in front of your window. There is nothing there.
Or something flying through, probably.
Yeah, you would probably see that because they would be drawn
Thank
to
you
your.
for the invite.
Yeah, they would be drawn to the light. That's true, like a moth to the flame.
Awesome. creepy crawlies are not the thing we want. And I'll click out the phone and I will close the window again.
Okay, you close the
before
window.
all of nature starts to join us in the bedroom. Maybe I just made it up.
I wonder. She goes back to bed, but she also takes a good look at the camera. If there had been something on infrared, the camera would have tripped. Because look, and you can see it's recording because obviously
Yeah.
the two of you were standing in front of it. But I'm proud of you. You're feeling Kana when I can't. That's new.
No, that shouldn't be like that. And it always happens when I'm not concentrating on it. When I try to feel something, I feel nothing.
That's the true artist, isn't it?
No, that's as I said, maybe I'm not feeling the tingly feeling I should be feeling. Maybe there's something, maybe something is wrong in my brain. And I have tingly feelings there.
She laughs and she says, I don't think so. I think that you're just very special and you just have to accept it. But you don't. You always refuse.
Because I'm not, but hey, okay. Then,
She looks at her watch. Oh, it's 2:00, so we still have
let's
a
see.
good 6
Go
hours
sleep.
before we have to go and get up. So let's go to sleep again.
Stretch and yawn.
She does that
Taking your
too.
blanket again, and I think quite quickly, if nothing happens, Amelie will be snoring slightly and back to sleep.
Yeah. So the next thing you notice is it's your alarm clock
Okay.
at 8:00.
Snooze.
Celeste is actually not one for snoozing. When the alarm does go off, she actually gets up, but quietly, and goes to the bathroom.
She does need to be quiet because she will hear muffled under the blanket like good morning or bonjour in this case.
Good morning, bonjour. I'm gonna hit the shower first. You stay in bed a little longer.
Awesome, thank you.
And she basically hits the shower.
And
she
Amelie will
is
sleep for 5 more minutes until
she is
the
being
alarm goes off
quiet
again.
though. I mean, she can't do anything about the water rushing,
No,
but,
but-
other than that, she is being quiet.
Amelie will doze and just hit snooze as long as Celeste is in the shower.
And then she comes back and basically, freshly scrubbed and drying her hair off. And then she's, and then it's your turn.
Amelie will take 5 more minutes. And then you can see very slowly, probably one arm out and second arm out, and it's like, this midnight waking up thing is not for me. And she will just, is it shuffle? Schlurfen? No, it's not shuffle. Wenn man schlurft.
No, it is actually you're shuffling. Yeah,
Okay, so she would
it's what
really,
zombies do too.
yeah, annoyingly shuffle to the bathroom, just like very like, and will go also getting a hot shower, and I'm quite sure that will help her to be a little bit more okay. We can do this today.
Okay, you come out, and you look at your bed,
Yep.
and there's a little piece of like a little wrapped chocolate on your on your bedside table to get you started for the day. You look a little worse for wear.
Coffee.
It does contain coffee. It's coffee caramel.
Celeste will get a big grin back, and Amelie will just unwrap it.
Yeah, and it's one of the ones that actually does contain coffee.
She will love that. And I think now also opening up the window again to let in some fresh air. Camera did not record anything than us.
No, and also no handprint, as you can see.
So the video started with you walking in frame.
Yeah, I checked the footage. But this could also mean that whatever you felt was on the other side of that door. Because remember, last night, or the night before rather, I should say, somebody had pushed the key. So it might be that somebody was inside the house. Which is even worse, if you ask me, because it means that they got in here somehow. But,
While we clean up that we can get through the door, I think Amelie would just have a look. What kind of keyhole is that? Was it like a heavy,
it's one of the ones
kind
that
of key?
actually has like a beard, like one of these old keys.
So where you really can look through the
Yeah.
keyhole.
But since you always leave the key in there, nobody can look through it.
But it's a question if tonight or next night.
We want to train the camera on that.
Yeah,
It's worth
just
a
really, if we can focus it to basically look through the... Because if someone walks by, they still can't peek in. It will be dark for them, but it would be interesting what we can see there.
We can do that. The thing is, it wouldn't pick up the infrared, because obviously that's a sensor that's not on the lens. But if we just basically, we usually go to bed at 10. So if we say it should record. We can time it, because nothing happened. Even the night before, it was well into the night that we felt something. So maybe let's say set it to start at 12.
Yeah, midnight until like 3.
And see if it records anything.
We
It's a
could
good
also
idea.
use mobile phone. We can see whatever focuses better.
Yeah, good
Okay.
idea. And then you go downstairs, you have breakfast. The other guests are there. Some of them are there, especially the family with the kids, because obviously the kids don't really want to sleep in. The elderly couple, you know that they don't show up until 10. They really like sleeping in. Marie says, everything all right? Did you have a good night?
Yes, thank you. It
So
was
nobody
great.
else. The dogs didn't bark at all, so it looks like nobody tried to get in.
That is good to hear. Maybe it was just some, I don't know, crazy kids. You never know.
Very crazy. Okay, so basically in game, what are your plans for the day? Where do you want to go?
We wanted to go towards the part where the burial, where basically they found the tablets and so on.
Okay,
I think
so,
that was the idea.
Okay, so you drive into Glozel, park the car. Actually, you can drive to the Champ des Morts. It's no longer, and hasn't been a graveyard for a very long time. It's also an old burial place. There is a plaque which basically explains about this, saying that this is, until the church was founded, this is where the dead were buried, but that they have found, when they were excavating there, they found all kinds of things. First of all, on the ridge was where they found all of the coins and the tablets, and then they started excavating here as well. And it turns out that the deeper they went, they kept finding human remains. So, and some of them were carbon dated to around the time of Christ. So basically, and it has been known that people have lived in this area for several millennia. And now
we
you
need
can
to find the cave. I think that's
Yeah.
the main goal. We need to find a cave and see if it's the cave.
Okay, so make a communication check. Okay.
Communication. Okay, at least that's much better than the weird 1-1-2 roll that I had. Stunt die 5, so I have double 5 and a 4, which is 14, 16, and 5 on the stunt die on top if we want to. Or need to.
Okay, so basically you feel a tingly feeling everywhere.
exactly that sound is what Celeste will hear.
You're feeling it too, right?
Yes. Why?
Well, I mean, this could have very many reasons. First of all, people have been buried in this place for probably around about 3,000 years. That in and of itself can produce kana. Number 2, this may be the place where this cave is. So in that case, huge kana everywhere. Plus, number 3, up there is where they excavated those plates. The tablets, I mean.
Amelie will try to just shake off this tingly feeling. I'm sure she's still not very keen on that.
So shall we climb up?
Yes.
So basically,
let's
it's
do
okay.
this.
So you climb. So the field itself now is nondescript because obviously the excavation finished 100 years ago. So there is nothing to be seen there now. It's overgrown. Also, they're not using it for anything. So it's not like this is agricultural land. It's just like a meadow, really. It's a field full of grass. So you climb up the ridge. And there is, you can see a person in the distance, not far away, maybe 100 meters or so, on top of the ridge.
Okay. It's not see-through ghost-like, hopefully.
No, the person seems very solid.
Should we wave?
Yes?
At the moment, I'm not sure when we will find a tingly person, maybe. But Amelie will be, oh well, and she will be like, bonjour!
The person raises a hand and basically gives you one wave and shouts back, bonjour. It's a man.
Okay. I think we'll just walk up, or climb the last bit up and walk towards him.
He looks at you. He's about maybe 30. Most people don't come here. What do you want? Most people go to the village. There's nothing up here.
We heard there's a cave around here. We're curious to find it.
You heard that there's a cave around here. How did you hear that?
When you read a lot of things about Glozel, you stumble over caves. And we are curious where the tablets were found that are down in the city that you can look at. Amelie was still just clothes-wise, he looks like our timeline.
It's more nondescript. I mean, it's trousers, brogues. You know, it could be any time.
Okay, but it doesn't scream he's wrong in our timeline.
No, he's not dressed like a knight or like it could be any timeline, really.
Okay.
Well, the excavation was here, and he basically points even to his feet. So all of this was excavated.
So, I'm Amelie, by the way. Are you from around here? Sounds like it.
One might
Holding
say
out my
that.
hand to him.
He takes your hand and shakes it.
So there is a cave? If yes, would you mind pointing it out where we can find it? We'll find it anyhow, but it might be quicker if you
And how
give
are you
us
planning
direction.
on doing that?
Eyes, ears, electronics, holding up her hand, holding up her notebook, notes.
And what do you want with that cave once you found it?
Just having a look around. But hey, if it's secret, don't mind.
how come if there's a cave, it's not on any of the maps of the area?
I haven't made the maps. I can't tell you that.
Is it perhaps because nobody should go to that cave?
Maybe they just thought it's not important. But
If I told you where that map is, what would you give me? That cave is, what would you give me?
thank you. Amelie will really look a little bit weirded out, like, thank you, but well, we don't have any money. If you're looking for people to get rich.
I can assure you that I have no use for money at all.
That is worrying, because without money you can't live in this world.
He looks at you as if you've just said an eternal truth.
But well, you don't have to bother with us. Just have a nice day. And Amelie will just turn around and will step a few steps away from him. And we'll open a notebook and we'll just have a peek around. And we'll start like drawing the ridge and the look from here. So even if he peeks, he can just see that she's drawing. Basically the view.
He's not moving. You have stepped away from him. He hasn't moved. Celeste comes very close and she says, "That was weird, wasn't it?"
I'm quite sure, is not like us. Or maybe more like us than we want to.
She thinks about this for a moment. She's like, yeah, yes, on both counts. He is not like us, and on the other hand, he's more like us.
But well, if he doesn't want to help, then he will have to live with us being here, because he can't send us away. This is an open, public place. And she will say that quite loudly, so he can clearly hear what she says. At least that part. I think about more like us, I think that was more low voice, but the one, well, he has to live with it. We are here, public place. And
he says, "When you change your mind, come and find me." And he walks away.
I think Amelie, she will not call after him, but she will probably louder than she wants be like, "Weirdo."
Do you think he's the guy that tried to get into our room?
I don't know, but there are so many political drama around this cave, probably. Maybe he's looking for it as well. Or he's a weird guardian, and if he knows why we are here, he will blankly kill us on spot. We don't know.
He didn't look like the killing kind, though. I mean, if he wanted us dead, he could have just killed us right now. We're on our own. And she looks around. There is no one else here.
But he will not kill every tourist that comes here.
I'm pretty sure that most tourists don't ask for a cave because there isn't any. He's right, it's not on any of the maps. The only reason we know about it is because we read some very obscure and super old letters that we found in a house in the middle of nowhere in France.
We'll find it on our own. Because I'm not paying for this information. What the heck?
She smiles at you. That's the spirit. So
let me
this.
finish at least the drawing. And she will do the last scribbles and we will have a sketch of how this looks. With a weird man standing on the spot where we met him. He's just standing there.
Okay. Okay. We can try something. I've never done it before. But I've been told it should work. First of all, we need to go and find a tree.
A tree?
Yes, hazel would be best.
the question is down in the lower part.
Up here are no trees, but there are, and even like where you live in your hotel, there are plenty of
But we
trees
don't want to
and
go
bushes.
whole way back. So the question is on the way here when we walk through the fields, basically, if there were trees. So basically,
On the way up the field, no, but there are trees in Glozel proper.
but then we have to go back.
Well, I can do it on my own. You just wait here.
I'm not waiting with the madman over somewhere there.
Okay, so
How
make
I
up your...
will be, but how I will be the. Before we try, should we just have a walk here in peace and
Yes,
quiet and see if we
please
can
do.
find it?
Please do.
Yes? Okay? Before we do the complicated thing, do the easy thing first? We can still try what you want to try later, but
I'm so curious if it's going to work.
let's have a walk. Let's walk down here and see if we can find anything. So we will take a stroll around here, just seeing if we can find or see anything that looks like a cave entrance, or if we have a strong tingly feeling suddenly, or the feeling getting stronger, or because I'm not sure if the tingling feeling, does it stay the whole time, or does it vanish?
It actually stays with you to the extent that you're becoming numb to it. So it's still
Okay.
there, but it's like, it's like
In the
a
background now.
noise that's still there. Yeah.
So the idea is to see, because at least Amelie suspects that if we get close to the cave, it should get stronger. Maybe not, but at least she suspects it. So we will take a walk and have a look. Also looking out for weird man.
You're not seeing any men, weird or otherwise.
How should we find him? What the heck? Definitely a weirdo.
You come to a tree. A lone tree. Celeste says, okay, I really want to try this. Stay here. Or, well, basically, hold this. And she gives you her gear. She climbs the tree and she cuts off a branch. She comes down again. It's like Y-shaped. She picks off the leaves and she says,
Oh no, please don't tell me. I don't know the English word for Wünschelrute. I only know
she's
the German
jousting.
one. It's just... Really? That's
What?
humbug.
okay. Okay.
No, please give it a try. I'm learning every day that there are things that I thought that wouldn't be real and they are real. Is this really working? And
We'll
Amelie
see.
will patiently wait and let Celeste do what she's doing, but she will very closely look.
It's a good roll. You can, basically the rod is beginning to move. You can now do me one favor. Please roll 3d6.
Oh god. Okay.
Add 4 to the result.
Yes.
Is the result 10 or less?
No.
Okay.
I have a 16.
Oh, good. So she doesn't keel over. You can definitely tell that there is something going on. This thing is moving. It's almost fluttering. And she says, and she actually lets go.
Don't let go of it.
Did you see that?
Yes. Pick it up.
She picks it up again.
That's amazing.
Same thing.
Let's follow it. Although it's a question, are we now searching for water? Or for what are we searching for?
I'm concentrating on the cave.
So there are ways to decide on what you are...
No,
That's
I mean,
interesting.
in theory, I should be able to find stuff that I'm really familiar with quite easily. If it is something that I have never seen, it gets really difficult.
Well,
But I can imagine a cave and I've been trying to do this. I just
They
hope
don't
this.
have many caves here, so yeah.
I just hope that this doesn't lead us to, like you said, water. So we'll just keep going.
As long as we watch where we are stepping, I think we should be fine.
So basically, the two of you start walking, and it's interesting because when you take a left or a right, she tests this, then it stops moving. But if you keep going in one direction, it keeps vibrating, and quite strongly too. And this is taking a while. After an hour, you reach a place where the ridge, well, basically the ridge is now plateaued, so it's been quite an even meadow, so that you haven't had to climb. But then you reach a place where actually the meadow falls off. And when you look down, you can see that you are now above. It's almost like a small ravine. So down there you can see brambles, and it's obviously a lot wetter, and it's a lot darker because it's kind of like a trough between two ridges now again. So you can see brambles, you can see briars, and she looks and she says, well, if there was a cave, this would be a good place to have one. Because it's between two ridges.
Yeah, looking at it's pointing in that direction, right?
Yeah.
The rod?
But also, it looks like nobody's been here in a long while. Look.
Or
Going down here is going to be...
It seemed like that.
Shall we climb down?
Looking at... Does it look at least safe enough that we can get down and back up again?
You can get down and back up again, but you would also probably hurt yourself quite a lot because, you know, there are brambles and basically they have thorns. So this would be a bit uncomfortable. But you can come down and get up again. Probably, I don't know, are you wearing long sleeves?
No. It's summer, it's warm.
Yeah, so you would probably cut yourselves quite a lot.
So we need to come back with gear. Maybe some
big shears or an
shears.
axe. Yeah, and pruning shears, big shears, and yeah, and a small hand axe.
Well, then when we're back, I think we will have a look where the next market is where we can get that stuff. And my brain again is only giving me... But then we have to explain why we need it.
But the market doesn't come back until Friday, or we drive into Vichy.
Not the market. We need to drive a little bit, I think.
Oh,
So
I'm pretty sure we can.
Baumarkt. I don't have the English word at the moment. My brain is not giving me any kind of solution for that, even though I should know as DIY watching lady.
Well, you go to the DIY shop, the garden center.
Yeah, no, it has. I will stumble over the word, but yeah, it's basically having a look around because you have a lot of people here that work in the fields and work on things, so there will be something like that, not in Vichy, but closer by probably, because the people are there.
Well, a farm supply shop.
Yeah.
Hardware store. Let's go to the hardware store.
Thank you, hardware store. That's the word I was looking for.
Sure. She gets out her Google Maps and she searches for stuff in the area hardware stores. And yes, there are several.
We also note exactly where we are. Basic coordinates that you can see in the maps as well, just that we can find it again.
Yeah.
Well, then... should we still go a little bit further and see if the rod is still moving in this direction, or if it's like...
So you're basically walking on top of the ridge along the ravine, and it is actually one that after a while, I would say probably it's again 20 to 30 minutes. So it's quite a long walk because you're not exactly going slowly. the two ridges meet, and it's basically like a gulch.
Yeah.
So closed at the end. And then you see, and there you can also see that it's actually quite steep at the very head of this trail that you've reached.
Yeah.
It goes down easily, probably about 6 meters, and that's steep. On the sides, it goes down quite smoothly, so you could climb. It would be a bit difficult. You would have to use your hands, but you can do it. But there, it's almost perpendicular to the ground. Yeah. So,
But the rod always shows into basically the same. Okay.
Yeah. So whatever happens in that ravine.
Well, then we have our answer. I learned again that there are things that are real, even though based on books and shows, you always think it's a made-up thing.
Well,
that was really cool. We wouldn't have maybe would have. I don't think we would have found it without that thing.
You turn around and go back.
Yeah.
As soon as you reach the Champ de Mort, the guy is there again. He says, "So, did you find what you were looking for?"
I think Amelie will just pass by and just say, "Good day."
How rude.
She will not react. I'm not sure what Celeste is doing, but Amelie is like, I don't trust that man.
Celeste actually takes her cues from you. She didn't really say anything, but you could tell that she didn't really like talking to this man. So she's quite happy that she doesn't have to. Yeah. And the two of you go back. You drive to the hardware store.
While we walk, I think, at least in between, I think Amelie would like have a phone up. And she would use her camera like selfie mode to just have a peek if he's still standing there. Because she doesn't want to turn around. Because
yeah, no, I know what you're doing. Yes and no. You can see a shape of a person. But it's very hazy.
Click photo.
Okay, so yeah, okay.
And he's in the photo, so we can see it in the picture.
Yes, but it but you also know that, I mean, today's cameras are actually really good in those, so you haven't walked far enough for him to turn into a hazy shade or shape. He should still be visible.
Yeah, so definitely sharing with Celeste. So he's definitely not like us, and he's not normal either.
We will take a closer look at this when we're at home. I want to enhance this picture a little. Okay. So you go to the car.
Yeah.
And the plan is now to go to the hardware store.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to the hardware store where you buy those big pruning shears.
Typical things you need if you wanna clean up a messy garden that is overgrown. So
she gets two pairs of gloves. Like these with the longer cuffs.
Shears and small axes.
So 2 small hand axes. Okay. She uses the Amex card so that it gets charged to the IT straight away. And then she says, okay, before we do
measure, Amelie will throw in a rope as well.
Okay. She says we should also get a packed lunch because I'm getting hungry.
You need a rope. Never forget that. I'm not sure if they ever use it, but we need a rope. Adventure gear. 101.
And adventuring gear 101. I've got a flask of coffee.
See? Food, drinks, rope, and some kind of weapon. We are...
And just for good measure, she adds a torch.
That is...
Just in case we run... Because we might want to use the battery of our phones to film and not to waste it on... as light.
Maybe, honestly, let's take 2 torches, just in case.
Each of you gets a torch. So you drive back, you drive through Glozel, she stops, she gets food.
The question is, how late is it?
I would say, well, you got up at 8, you had breakfast, got left probably at around 9:30, so it's probably now midday, possibly more towards 1.
Okay, I think we would have lunch in town.
Okay, so
The question, do we really want to go there today with that weirdo? Although I honestly think he will be there tomorrow as well. And
well, I
tomorrow,
leave it up
the
to
day
you. We
after.
can try today, or we could come out tomorrow really early and spend the day.
I think that would be better, because we don't want to be stuck there when it's dark.
That's a good point.
And we can point out tomorrow, if he's there again, how weird that is. If he doesn't have a home.
And the question is, maybe we should also, before we go there, let Eric know and just check in with him, because if something is to happen, and if something was to happen to us, nobody would know where we went.
Yes, we should do that. That's a
We
good
should
idea.
report.
Then we will have a more relaxing evening or an afternoon at the pool, maybe. We can have a peace and quiet look at the picture.
Okay.
And then we can just relax.
So you do spend the afternoon at the pool. Celeste does go swimming. She really loves
Amelie
it.
as well.
The dogs are basically still there, and they're lying in the sun, and it's great, and they're basically baking. They also realize that you don't have snacks. That's sad puppy eyes. And then after a while, she plugs the phone into her laptop and she pulls over the picture and she starts working on it. And ooh, double 6 and a 5, and the 6 is on the stunt die. 12, 17.
Nice.
And 17, 19, 21. She keeps working, and then you hear, look at this. And she turns the screen towards you, and you see the picture that you took. But the colors are now all changed, so it's like it's a negative picture. So she's done something to it, and you see a man standing there, and this man has a very, very large sword that he's basically put in front of him, and he's got his hands on the pommel, like so, and by his side you see a very tall shield that's standing on the ground, and it's leaning against his hip.
Can we see a sign or
Yes.
anything on the shield?
It's a
Is it
pod cross.
Okay, so Templar. Should we maybe next time name that? Well, how was he called initially before he changed his name?
Artois.
Artois. The Count Artois.
I'm not sure if it's him, because he was the guy who...
No, I would mention to him that the Count Artois is not happy that he's not helping us.
You are evil.
Just to see if there's a reaction.
I like that. That's a really good idea. We should totally do that.
Just to see, I'm curious to see, because he must be out of that time.
I believe so too.
The question is he here free will, or is he stuck here and very angry?
Well, I mean, if the letter's anything to go by, they sealed themselves into the cave. If he's still around, then that means that they died, because nobody lives this long.
He for sure is well, we've seen
a
ghosts that
ghost.
look very real.
We have.
Maybe we should whistle Ghostbusters. I'm just afraid he has no clue what that is.
He probably never watched the movie. That's right.
I don't think so, because at least I hope he can't roam freely to wherever. He's probably stuck in the
in the vicinity
far
of the
away
cave.
he can get, because he didn't follow us.
No, he didn't. He stayed on the ridge. He also didn't follow us to the cave.
Well, we don't know. Maybe he can go invisible.
That is true. He may be able to turn himself invisible. He can definitely disguise himself, but not from modern technology. It was very smart to take that picture.
Well, I have my brave and smart moments.
I never doubted that. And she gives
And
you a
for
high
him,
five.
This technology, high five back, is probably very surprising because I don't think he knows really what this is. Best case.
Probably not. Do you know how when they first met indigenous peoples and they took pictures of them and showed them the photos, they said, well, you're capturing our soul. Maybe that's what you did. Not that you put it into your phone, but maybe photography does more.
Well, there are a lot of stories about that you can find out that you're standing in front of a vampire because he's not showing up in a picture. Not sure if that's real, but I still...
Or you're looking in a mirror and he's not there. So, tomorrow then, we'll get up bright and early. And then we'll see what happens.
I think we should ask maybe Marie if we can have like an early breakfast like travel package.
Oh, yes, that's a very
Just
good idea.
telling her that we will have a day's hike and we want to have an early head start, so we will get up basically very early, much before they do breakfast.
Sure, absolutely. I'll go in and ask her.
Awesome.
She comes back about 20 minutes later. She says, that's not a problem. She's also going to pack us a lunch.
By now Amelie, I'm not sure what's less, but Amelie's drawing. She will draw exactly the man, the knight standing with the shield. She's drawing that in her notebook.
Well, it's sometimes a bit difficult to know what Celeste is doing because she spends a lot of time not online because obviously off the grid, but she is doing stuff.
But she says all of these things, don't take notes like that because people can steal it and use it. So it's like...
But after a while, she actually turns to you and she says, I found a couple of, well, don't ask me where I got them. I found topographical maps of the area.
Oh.
It turns out that if one were to dig, one would find a lot of caves underneath the ridge.
Okay. That will make it more difficult.
Well, I'm not so sure. It just means that we're bound to find something. But considering that they said they had sealed it, or we're going to, we are looking for one that isn't open. But if you seal a cave this size, it shows. So I'm pretty sure we're going to find it. But the access would be through that ravine. It basically says so. And she shows you the topographical map, and you can see that there are 2 or 3 cave. It's not a cave system, that would be saying too much, but you can see that it's limestone. And over time, I mean, some of the caves are just basically so small that maybe only a child could sit in one, but they're still caves because. And it also is interesting that this type of stone is not the same as the geological foundation of where the castle or the fortress stands, because that's pure granite. There are no caves there. So this area, geologically speaking, is very different from the area of Glozel. So the ridge and the ravine are different. It's like there's a fault line.
So tonight, I think it would make sense that we keep your camera triggered by the window, because someone was at the window, and we use probably best my phone to keep running and recording with timer, basically, between midnight and like 3, and see if someone is trying to open or have a look at our door.
Okay.
So I think the rest of the evening we will enjoy food, and we will, I think, sit outside a little bit, and Amelie will do a little bit more drawing. Celeste probably some I could imagine reading. I'm
Yeah,
quite sure reading is a thing for both of us.
Yeah, she reads. Also, I mean, the thing is that the other guests do join you again for dinner. So they tell you, well, I mean, they don't just talk at you in terms of,
No, it's the nice that you have,
chit chat. What were you doing during the day? This is where we went. Oh, and guess what? We went to blah blah blah, and that was really awesome. If you've never been there, we can totally recommend it if you like XYZ. So it's the normal chit chat that people who share a hotel and kind of like, and it's a very nice atmosphere. They don't pry into what you have been doing, but if you say, well, we went to the museum and so on, they will say, oh yeah, we went there as well, and isn't it interesting, blah blah blah.
I think we would even tell that we were at least towards the big field where all the dead people are.
Yeah.
And we didn't see a ghost. That was quite disappointing.
And then somebody says, well, you were there during the day. Maybe you should go tonight and then see what's there.
That is a very good idea. And like this nice, as you said, the touristy exchange thing.
And Marie does interject that, she is from the area, and that people have been saying that they have been seeing weird things at night. She basically says that the children on a dare would, go there and at night, and she says, I went there twice and I never saw anything. But then again, none of the locals would go there on the 30th of April. Maybe that's the mistake, because everybody says that the weird things happen on those 2 days, the 30th of April or the 31st of October. And even the most daring always steered clear. So maybe something does happen, and if we had been brave enough to ignore the superstition, we would have seen something. But you know how it is. You don't believe it in the daytime, but then when night comes and you look at your calendar and it's a certain date, you sometimes say, better safe than sorry.
Makes sense.
And, and there is wine again, and there is food, and then you sit outside. The evening again is beautiful, it's warm. And then at some point you go to bed, you set everything up.
Too late, because we'll get up early as we prepare, and we will set up the camera. Raz, this time, again, her setup with the triggering at the window. And I will set up my mobile phone to start recording.
Make a communication check.
At midnight. Why?
Let's see if you get an event.
I haven't even gone to sleep yet.
Well, I can't really make you roll while you're sleeping. That would be a bit difficult.
6, sadly not on the stunt die. And a 2. That is a 14 plus 2, 16.
Okay, she's got 18. You wake up, and she's waking up at the very same moment. She sits bolt upright. She says, something's here.
I'm looking at my watch, time-wise. Again,
it's 10 minutes past 2 in the morning.
Okay.
Now make an intelligence check.
Okay. That is a good roll. That is a 15 plus that's an 18.
You have set up the mobile of your own mobile towards the door. You think of something. You grab Celeste's mobile, which is on the bedside table between the two beds, and you look through it, through the camera, and you see right in the middle of the room the shape of someone standing there. And when you look over the phone, there is nothing there.
I will walk backwards towards Celeste and her bed.
What is it?
And just hold the phone in that she can see it. Excuse me, can we help you?
Silence.
Also, I hit record, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it's quite rude to enter the bedroom of two ladies without invitation.
Silence.
You're not
The figure's
welcome
also
here.
not moving.
It doesn't. I believe we'll go walking. You're not welcome here, so you're have to leave. Come on.
Make a communication check.
But she's staying at the moment. She's trying to stay friendly in
Yeah,
her
no.
tone. 12, 14.
You hear a very soft voice. It's definitely a man's voice. It's a young man, maybe 20. His voice is already broken, but you can tell it's a young man. The eternal light must not be let in. And the figure vanishes.
Did you just hear what I heard?
Yeah, the eternal light must not be let in.
So they know why we are here. But we are
Wait.
not planning to let them in.
But maybe that's just the problem. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe the eternal light has finally broken free and somebody needs to seal the portal. This is what we've been thinking all along.
Well, at
What
least
if we're
that
not the
thing was
only
not-
ones who have found out about this cave? Remember, somebody else was trying to get the painting, which started all of this. We managed to get the painting from them and we managed to get the information about the deluxe, but we don't know what the other side has been doing.
That is true. Well, at least I think we can stop the recording, because if they wanted to hurt us, they would have. And Amelie will go over and will grab her phone.
Yep.
She will still have a peek, but she's quite sure that thing did not crawl through the keyhole.
It did not.
And she will still keep the books there that no one can really open the door, because she's still not trusty if there are not only also humans involved in this madness. Because whoever wanted to steal the book was definitely more... the painting was more...
Except that they sent this monster, but yes.
Yeah, but they were, I think, not like a ghosty figure. They
No,
were
they were
real. You can touch them,
Yeah.
and they would have to open the door if they want to go through. Okay. Amelie will plonk herself just on top of her bed, just like cross-legged. I don't think I will be able to sleep again now.
Actually, me neither, because they managed to show up in here and nothing triggered. It means that they could come back anytime.
Well, we have our phones, and Amelie will plug her in the to load up again, because with
yeah.
running for 2
Recharging, yeah.
hours, recharging it at least. But I think your idea with that the modern technology shows the real thing. This is the second time now via phone that we see what is really there.
I didn't expect it.
Me neither. Is it worth asking the pros? If they
You
have
mean
any,
Eric?
tips, tricks with ghosty things that only be seen on technological displays?
She takes her phone and she rings.
He's probably asleep.
He's our handler. I don't care. We just had a close encounter of the third kind.
Yeah, with someone who knows about the topic, and they especially talk to us about it.
About 10 rings in, there's an answer. Eric, I know it's late. It's Celeste. Who else would it be? No, I honestly, don't answer. Just listen. And she hands you the phone.
What? Why me? I'm sorry, Eric. That we're calling in the middle of the night.
What is it?
We just had a visitor of the very weird kind. The one you can only see through a camera.
What?
A ghostly thing. It was just like a black shadow, and we could only see it through our phone cameras. It wasn't there. I couldn't see it by eyes, but I could feel it. And it talked to us.
Are you all right?
Well, we're awake now. Whoever that was, that guy knew kind of why we are there. They said the eternal light must not be let in.
Well, what does that mean?
I don't know, but do you know about, I don't know, stories, vision, ghosts? Is there a way to deal with them? To see them without having the phone camera in hand all the time? Or banish kind of them if you don't want them near you?
Well, to be quite honest, I'm not even sure. I mean, honestly, ghosts, I would have to do some research. How do you know it was a ghost?
It was a black shape that we could not see.
If you didn't see it, if you couldn't see
eyes.
it, how did you know that it was what?
As I said, I felt it, and when you look through the camera of your phone, you can see it. If you look over the phone at the same direction, it's empty, it's not there.
I have to say I've never heard anything like this. But if you say you feel it, then it's probably up your alley anyway. I don't feel stuff.
Okay, never mind. I'm sorry.
No, I'm going to do some research. But I mean, are you in danger? I mean, did it touch you?
No, it did not. Just could you note down some coordinates I'm giving you?
Yes.
Or we can. We will send a Wi-Fi to you. That's easier. Then you don't have to remember.
Coordinates for what?
Go there tomorrow. If we don't come back, you know where to find us.
What do you mean if you don't come? Do you want me to send in the SWAT team?
No, I don't think that's necessary.
What are you doing there? I mean, you're telling me that you're going to send me coordinates of a place that you're going to go to. And if you don't return, in case you don't return...
If we don't return, send the SWAT team. Then
and-
the eternal light got us.
But by when should I... I mean, how long will I give you before I send somebody in? How long before you don't report back to me that I send someone in?
Tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the evening.
Tomorrow, 10 o'clock. All right. I'm going to put them on standby because if you need help, you could also inform us and I'm going to send them right away. You know, don't just wait until after 10.
If we need them, we will call. And we are not sure yet what we will find. If we find anything.
I'm not sure we're insured for this.
The only thing we'll find is a Templar ghost because we met him this morning.
What?
Yes.
You...
But he looks real when you... well, you can see him with blank eye. He looks normal. But via phone camera, you can see he's definitely a Templar Knight.
Has Celeste been tampering with your phone?
No.
I've never heard of this. I will have to inform Micheline. This is very interesting news. Also,
Well,
they
but you
say
guys
that
know
ghosts
there
are
are-
really cold. Are they cold?
Thinking about the maid in the...
He didn't. She didn't feel cold.
She didn't? No, I don't think they're cold. At least the ones we met are not cold.
What do you mean the ones we met? How many have you met?
One more in the Deluxe Chateau.
You know what? I'm older than you are. I've never seen a ghost. And you've only been at this for like what? A couple of months and you've already seen like 3?
Maybe you need to be open-minded. And I'm quite sure with that, Celeste is giggling because
Yeah.
Amelie is the one who's not open-minded at all. But at least in the Deluxe house, the ghosts are really nice and friendly. So not scary poltergeist ghosty.
To be quite honest, I don't even want to see a nice and friendly ghost. Honestly,
It wasn't really scary. It was a maid that have just.
but
lived
how did
there
you know that
for-
she was a ghost? She could have been a maid.
Well, she just vanished in front of us.
And she also told you that she'd been there for 200 years.
Yeah, and we talked to her, and it was obvious that she was there for a long,
You
long
talked
time.
to her? And she
Well, yes.
replied?
Yes.
Why did you not write a report on this? Give the phone to Celeste. I need to talk to her.
But we weren't there for that. We were just there to find out more
But
about
this
the
is
painting.
important information.
But what do you want to do? Please don't storm the chateau.
No, file it.
For what?
Well, we've got an archive. We write down everything.
It was just a nice maid that we talked to. She keeps the place quite nicely clean. You should get a ghost to keep your house clean if you don't want to clean.
No, thank you. I'd rather clean myself.
Well, she basically gave us the hint on where to look at.
Oh, a helpful ghost, like Casper.
Yeah, because that is a place she never has to clean because it always stays clean, very weirdly. We knew
So
that
it-
was the place
That
where
place
we
is
were
also
right.
a ghost? Like it's haunted?
No, it was more like a magical seal.
Again, no word in Celeste's report about this. She's really slacking.
I think, honestly, it makes more sense that we write a full report if we have the full picture. At the moment, we only have like little puzzle pieces here and there. We're
Nice
still not
save.
sure what it's really about.
Well, anyway, it's late. Send me those coordinates and I'm going to put the team on standby. And if I don't hear from you by 10 o'clock tomorrow evening, they're out there. And if you need help in between, let us know and they will be there.
Understood. Now
Good.
Go back to bed. Good night.
You too. Sleep well.
And I will hang up and I will use her phone because I'm still not sure if I have Eric's number in my phone at
You do.
all because
You
I
do. You do.
I delete everything?
Well, I don't know about this, but she
I
did
think
give you
in
his
my
number.
rampart of deleting everything, I deleted everything.
Oh, when you were being naughty.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I was very reasonable. They are not following the data security guidelines. GDPR definitely broken. We will send them the coordinates where the cave is.
Celeste looks at you.
Or we will go down and hope there is
Yeah.
a cave.
Well, I mean, if they go to the coordinates of the ravine and keep following the ravine, at some point they will follow. They will see you, if probably your dead bodies or whatever. But you should be there.
Amelie will go online and will look for Templars that are known during the time where Mr. Artois was
D'Artois,
around as well. So French Templars, quite noble ones that disappeared. Not
Well,
the
they all
ones
did.
that died in their. Not
They
all
all
of them
did.
disappeared.
I mean, disappeared. I mean, the thing is that
So not the ones that died in battle that are known
or that were
only-
hanged and killed.
exactly.
And,
So
okay.
these ones are not interesting. The
Well,
ones
I mean,
that-
the thing is, you did do a lot of research on the Templars already. So the point is that you know that there was this guy called Frédéric de la Mer who signed the letter to Artois, in which he said that he and his group of men were going to seal themselves in,
So it could be de la Mer
or one of
or
his
one of his
group.
people.
Having said this, there are no full lists of the people
Okay.
in the because they were heretics, so
Yeah, I
the
understand.
church didn't exactly keep records.
Yeah.
And there are some who say that maybe when they decided to purge the Templars, they also got rid of a couple of other people that they didn't like and just basically burnt them at the stake with them. So, you know, never waste a good purge.
I'm still listening. I just
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to close the window. It's getting
Sure.
cold, and I'm getting getting guests. I don't want you to go away. I love it when the little moth, another one, found their way in. I have moths outside in the plants, and one or two sometimes sneakily find their way in.
But they're not stingers, they're just moths.
Yeah, but I don't want them here.
No,
eating
I
my
understand. I wouldn't want them there either.
Clothing.
Oh, those kind of moths.
I'm not sure, to be honest. Do all moths eat?
No, I
Things
think
to look
no,
into.
I think not all of them eat fabrics. The big ones are just simply annoying because they are very loud when they fly
No,
around.
it's small. It's a small one.
Okay.
Sure. Just sit down. Oh, it's going that way. So, if something flies through, it's a moth.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out. Okay, so essentially, what do you do? Because it's now between 3:15 thereabouts. Do you want to try and go back to sleep?
No.
Okay. So you wait till morning.
Yeah.
The sun's up early because it's summer.
Hmm.
Then you go downstairs. You get ready. You go downstairs. Downstairs in the kitchen area, there's she's basically said she's putting everything in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
So when you open the fridge in the kitchen, you see all of the food that she has produced. She's made for you. So basically, there is sandwiches and a lunch parcel for each of you. There is fruit. Some nuts, trail mix. Hey, going hiking, you need this for your nerves. Do you take the stuff and then go to the car?
Yeah, we take the stuff. We have what we have. I think at least Amelie would have also like a power bank with her, just to make sure. In case we get stuck, Amelie's like, if we get stuck down there.
Very good point. She does. You have torches, but you also bought additional packs of batteries. So basically, you have 2 sets of batteries for each of the torches. Yeah, and you drive to the Champ des Morts.
Yeah.
And we'll take a 5-minute break before we go in.
Awesome. Let's do that.
Okay. And here we are back. So basically, you arrive at the Champ des Morts. You park the car. You climb the ridge. How early do you think it's going to be now? Do you think it's about 7?
Yeah, I think around 7.
Okay. So she doesn't take out because she did keep the rod. She doesn't take it out because she knows, and you both know where the ravine is, so you just make straight for it. Do you try to be fast or do you try to be cautious? Or do you just basically try to... Okay. So, I mean...
And we will keep eyes open if he is there again.
Okay, so then do a perception check, please. And if you have seeing, you can use seeing.
I don't have seeing.
She sees nothing.
I have searching, but that is not the same. That is a 13.
Okay, not that you can see.
I think if we're around the height where he was yesterday, at least Amelie would be like, bonjour, and would walk on.
Okay.
And
so
I think if we don't see him, I think she would pull out the phone, put the camera on, and have a peek if we can see him.
So do like one of those. And there is nothing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Maybe it's so early, he's still asleep.
Maybe he's still asleep.
Sleepyhead?
That's why we're here, because early bird catches the worm. So you make your way to the ravine. Now for the descent. There we are looking at dexterity checks. She's terrible at dex. Oh dear. Yes. She falls
broke her
down.
neck.
No, she didn't. But she basically
Story
rolls
ends.
down into the brambles and she cuts herself.
Well, dexterity is okay for me, so I rolled 15.
Oh, very good. She didn't even, she managed the 10, but that wasn't enough. She's like, okay, I'm stupid. We brought a rope. Next time we should maybe use it. She dusts herself off.
But there's not really something we can bind it to.
Well, you could have held it while I climbed down, and then, because you're so much better at this.
But I'm not very strong. We might have fallen, both of us, then.
Then why did we bring the rope?
If we have to mark a way.
Uh-huh.
It's adventure gear. I'm not an adventurer. I'm an artist.
We'll have to look this up. Maybe we should
Yes.
do a course, survival in the wild or something. They do that in the Camargue. I saw advertisements. I'm pretty sure that Eric would pay if we make it out of here. Okay, let's keep going.
So now hacking and slashing.
So you hack and slash.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, let's make a fight roll. Let's use this stat because we have it. Ooh. 13.
And 11.
Okay. So you find out that she's a lot better at this than you. It's not clear why. So she takes point and she basically uses, she basically, it's almost like she's wielding a machete. She's really doing a good job. So you get through, but it's slow work because the brambles are old and they're very entangled.
Yeah. But at least today we would both been smart and have long sleeves and so on.
And you
to
have
be
the
sure.
long
And the gloves.
Okay, but of course you are looking for a cave. So now I would like you to make a search check.
Okay.
And she will add her perception. If she manages the perception check, because she doesn't have searching, you can get her stunt die. Okay.
We'll need that. Well, I have a 1 on the stunt die, which is doubled with
so
the
does
normal
she.
die.
So does she.
That was not a good roll. So I have a 7. Well, I still have a 12 because I'm proficient in searching.
Okay, so
And 1 on the stunt die.
so she gives you her stunt die, which is a 1. So you have
Wow.
13. You keep trudging through it.
Yep.
It gets quite stuffy down here, and also it's very, very wet because it's like this ditch. You start to sweat. After about half an hour, you are completely soaked and it's dirty, and you keep looking and you keep walking, and there are frogs, and it's really. You may now make a constitution check to see how you are doing. Oh God! She rolled a 17 plus 1. 18. She's doing fine.
She loves
and
this.
and also she has a 6 on the stunt. She's doing fine.
That is a much better roll than this 15.
Okay, so the two of you are actually doing really well. This adventuring thing is yours. I mean, you are really making the most of it, the two of you. Yes, it is tedious. Yes, it is wet. Yes, you feel tired, but it's like, we can do this. You're being spurred on by something. And you
Should
now
we
make...
use your tingly thing again, maybe?
I was just going to say, make a communication check. Ooh, nice.
That's a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Okay, you feel nothing.
With an 8, there's nothing. That's a cute frog.
Yeah. Ooh. Ribbit.
Froggy.
There are frogs and they kind of hop around. Anyway, she rolled really well. And also a 4 on the stunt die. She gets tingly feelings and very strongly. The problem is she falls over and she has to throw up.
That not good? What is happening?
Tingly feelings, but it's like a migraine. Whatever this is, it's close.
I will help her up and try to clean up at least a little bit. Give her some water. Do you want
She keeps breathing.
pain meds, maybe? Although it will take a few moments for them to kick in.
Do you have something on you?
She will pull out. I'm quite sure she has like
Advil.
a first aid kit in her backpack with some plaster.
Of course you do. Adventure.
And adventure, right?
Mm-hmm.
So ibuprofen.
Yeah, so she takes an ibuprofen or two, and then basically she says,
I will use my notebook to make wind and kind of like fresh air, because that might help.
And then she says, I'm pretty sure it must be around here.
I can't.
Okay, so if it's a cave, it's probably in the side.
Or down.
In the side, but down.
No, just down might also be an option. We should. Why didn't I think of this? We should be careful where we're stepping.
That's a good point. We're so lucky that nothing happened. So she basically gives you one of the shears, and you start cutting away and hacking
around
away
us.
at the briar and
But
the brambles.
careful, step by step, not that we have the entry to the cave like exactly like it's here. Plonk.
Okay, so this actually takes a while. However, you do find the cave. Or something that looks like somebody sealed an entrance to one.
Well, let's clean it up and see if there are any signs, sigils, whatever.
Then
And how is it sealed?
it looks like they... It's a bit...
Like stone or plaster or...
Plaster, you are not wrong. So somebody actually plastered over it. That's how you can recognize it, because it looks very different from the surrounding stone. So obviously so it's quite clear when they sealed it, there must have been somebody on the outside as well in the know, because they basically put plaster over it, then they threw dirt on it, and basically over time things grew. So you can see it's plastered, and it looks very different from the surrounding stone.
Is it top-notch in shape, or do we see cracks or holes?
The plaster itself has cracks and holes, but you can. Do you want to peel it off?
Before we do that, I think really having a look if we can see any signs or sigils.
Then make a perception check.
I think that would be first.
In your help, in your case, and she will do. She will give you her stunt die. Oh, nice!
That
It's a 6.
is 13, 16, 18.
And she gives you a 6 from her, so that's 24.
We're
Okay.
good at this, Celeste.
You are very
High
good
five.
at this. And high five. And basically you look and you do find you find something very interesting. Somebody has stamped something into the plaster. On the 4 corners, it's like a door on the 4 corners. Did you bring something like? Oh no, you can use your mobile phone to magnify it.
Yeah.
Can you make an occult check for me, please?
Okay. Yes, that is a nice roll. 20.
Okay, you see 4 very weathered little symbols. You see something that looks like an angel, something that looks like a lion, something that looks like a bull, and then something that looks like a bird.
Mm-hmm.
And with your roll, and taking into consideration that this is a Catholic-inspired cult with with Catholic overtones, you know that these represent the 4 evangelists. That's the angel for St. Matthew, the lion for St. Mark, the ox or bull for St. Luke, and St. John has the bird. It's an eagle, but obviously you can only make out it's a bird. It could be any bird.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very Christian piece of symbolism right there.
Well, at least it looks like it's not been broken yet.
So what do we do now? If it's not been broken, should we break it?
Well, at least a tiny hole to peek in, maybe. We can also just see if our friend might appear, because we clearly found it without his help. She would just look around and see if a certain man appears.
You can definitely feel a very tingly feeling, and you hear a voice saying, "You didn't even have to pay me. You found it yourself."
Well, we were kind of not keen on being hit by your sword.
The man steps out from the brambles, and he's wearing his normal garb that he was wearing yesterday. What do you mean sword?
You know, you can't fool. Maybe. Well, you can fool our eyes, but not the real view.
He changes in front of your eyes, and you see a man in kind of like, he looks like a Knights Templar with...
That's more on what we've seen. Not sure if you are de la Mer or one of his guys.
No, de la Mer is dead. Well, technically so am I. Probably. I'm not sure.
Well, if you're
Do
still
I look
alive,
dead to you?
yes.
Oh.
No, but well, ghosts never look dead.
Anyway,
I think
Why are you
Combattoir
here?
would really like to rather you help us than being not helpful.
he's still alive?
No. Ghost. At least, no, not anymore. Well, he was alive. He's not anymore because death took him, literally.
All
We
right.
met him not too long ago.
What?
Yes.
So, what is his message?
Well, generally speaking, we need to close the portal.
Did he tell you how? I'm the last one.
Did the others just vanish? Did you visit us yesterday? No, it didn't sound like you. There is someone else out there.
What do you mean, visit you?
Tonight there was someone. It was just more like a shadow telling us that the eternal light must not be let in.
Of course not. We try to seal it. We try to close the portal.
But if you didn't visit us, there is someone else out there.
He draws his sword. I don't think this is safe. What did they look like? Did they look like me?
No, it was just a dark shadow. And we only saw it the same way we saw you in full real clothing, not the image you gave us initially.
You see, the thing is, I can't get back in. And he points with his sword to the wall.
How did you get out?
I don't know.
Well,
It happened months ago. Something happened, and I was the last one.
what did the portal get active? Did someone try to go through? Did something happen?
Something's always trying to get through. I was the last one trying to hold it back. And one day I just woke up outside. Here, and he points to the ground. And I have not been able to get back in. So I don't know what's happening behind that. But this has never happened before.
Well, we are discussing to open to get inside. Problem is, we would also make way for whatever is inside to maybe get out. We are honestly still quite we know there's a portal, and we have kind of an idea what the eternal light might be or not, because there are very different interpretations about this wording.
Well, yes, he called it the eternal light. De la Mer did. I was never quite sure what he was talking about, because whatever is in there is not really light. It's not bright.
No, it's probably very dark if one of the interpretations is right.
The thing is, it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Oh? So it's a thing?
No, it's like... How... Have you ever seen God?
Obviously not.
Being in there felt like being in the presence of God. All-encompassing love. But there was something about it. De la Mer felt that this was a lie. You know how the fiend tries to deceive us?
So De la Mer, the goal is to that thing never get or step through the portal.
He says it's the end of the world.
If it goes through the portal.
Well, it will try to come here and it will try to destroy us all.
So it's
I
not
believe
here, it's on the other side of the portal.
Yes, we tried to seal the portal. We couldn't, so we decided to seal ourselves in with the portal. It's like a doorway. We couldn't close the door, but until recently, it wasn't able to step through. We could see it, and we could, what was more, feel it.
Understood. Celeste, should we call and see if they have any ideas on how to close a lovely portal between world timeline option thingies?
Good idea. They will probably send Micheline and a SWAT team.
Because brute force can't be the answer, because they could have done that before.
Also, I wonder who was that person that met you last night.
Yes.
Run by me again what they said.
Eternal light must not be let in. Which fits exactly with what you say. They should not come here.
They're not one of my brethren because they're all gone. It's not me. Who else knows and who else could just go to you and tell you this?
In A movie, I would say, that thing that wants to go through, but then it should have delivered a different message.
Unless, of course, it's just telling you exactly what you need to know in order for you to make the wrong decision.
So we leave it open and let it come through? That can't be the answer. Or let it come here and destroy it? I'm not sure we can do that. If it's what we think it might be.
I still don't know how I ended up outside.
Well, we are here because we heard that the danger is there. Which means maybe that thing is getting stronger and maybe it kicked you out.
I fight in the name of the Lord. How can anything be stronger than that?
In the current days, where less and less people believe in the Lord,
What do you mean?
Suspect he's not as strong anymore.
He's love eternal.
Amelie is like looking
Celeste
over to
looks at you and she says, I've got nothing. You're doing fine.
Oh, please don't hit me, but at least I think our generation, a lot of us are not really believing in God anymore because he's... what you can't see and touch is not there. Not saying it's the right decision. I'm learning the hard way.
Do you have a priest anywhere?
There are priests out there, yes. Which religion do you want? We have multiple ones. And at least 2, 3 circling around God. Your God. And a few around other gods.
There is only the one God, and there is only one church, and that is the Catholic Church, which is all-encompassing.
Well, Catholic Church is still valid. And I think that's a church also quite spread out around here, I suspect.
Yeah, France is predominantly Catholic, yeah.
There's also, let's say, a modern version of that.
That's past his, that's later than his time, yeah.
I know, but hey, he just... So
it has to be somebody who's born in the faith and believes.
All the other ones believe as well. They're just a little bit more modern. In a way that a priest is allowed to marry and have a family.
That's nonsense.
No.
You always have to take a vow of chastity.
Well, it's not helpful to do that because these people turn often in ways they should not.
He looks at you very sternly because obviously they did take a vow of chastity. They couldn't marry.
Well, at least in more modern times, they decided that having a family is not changing how faithful you are.
Well, anyway, we need somebody of the true faith that can help us.
I don't think they will help. They will run away screaming that we are mad people.
You're not helping, Celeste says. Of course, we will try and find a priest that can... What are they supposed to do? Do you want us to do an exorcism, or how does that work exactly? And he's like, I don't know, I just thought that maybe praying helps. Because, I mean, you two don't look like you're going to pray with me.
We can say the words, but sadly it will not help if we don't believe.
No, it won't. It was my faith that kept me alive, or whatever this is, and he points to himself.
Well, as I said, I'm learning that there's more that meets the eye.
Celeste pulls you a little bit away.
We can't talk to a priest. They will say we're mad.
No, that's clear. But you see, the point is, there is no such thing as God in this case. Whatever that is not what he thinks
eternal light is not God.
No, this is nothing about religion. This is a portal to another plane. So what he's seeing there is some kind of... It's a formori or whatever. We don't know. But the point is, even praying won't help, because this is beyond religion. Catholicism is something that is relegated to this plane. It's relegated to prime and its alts. That thing or things that are out there will not be touched by this. It's an absolute miracle, if you ask me, that these men were able to hold it back to begin with. They must have done something else. They probably, I mean, the more I think about it, maybe some of the Templars actually were Jaina. They didn't know it, but they felt it, and they knew what to do instinctively. Our problem is we simply don't.
Well, maybe they thought this tingly feeling is a sign of God, that he's there. They feel his presence.
That's what
It's
I
quite
think.
easy to expect. I think we should call for the backup team, everyone who knows to deal with all this stuff, because we don't know what will come through, and worst case, we will need to deal with it.
Okay, so here's a plan. We're gonna go, well, as she looks at her phone, I don't have any reception, do you?
Probably not as well. I will look at
No.
my phone, but
All right, we need to get to high ground so we have reception. We're gonna call Eric. We need Micheline, because she's the most, she's pure Jaina, and we will need a SWAT team, just in case.
you have the phone? Go. I will keep him company.
Are you going to be okay?
Yes.
If he does anything, scream.
He will not. I don't think he's we are not danger to him. I think he's quite happy that he can finally talk to someone. He must have been very lonely.
Probably. She climbs, she goes back a little, and then tries to find a way up, which she does. Yeah, she falls down a couple, she slides down a couple of times, but she manages in the end. The man has started to pray. Not a lot, but just a little.
I will just walk towards him and I will let him pray, because that's most important. I will pull out my notebook again and will at least draw the signs, the 4 corner things. I will draw them.
As you do this, he says, "You see, they even use the symbols of the 4."
Evangelists, at least that's how it's called in our time.
Yes,
They
should have sealed us in. They are the 4 strongest. You know what we would need? If we could get an angel to help. Like George or Michael. Michael would be good.
We can use, I think, every helping hand. But you did a great job for this long time.
You see, I was so young when I first joined. And I was so proud to be chosen for this.
I'm sorry you've been alone for so long, even though it was important.
You see, the thing is, it never felt lonely. But that was the treachery. I remember we all, at some point, came this close to just giving in. Because the thing is, we could go through if we had wanted to.
Well, but it shows how strongly you follow your God, that you stayed strong, not going through. Because it would have been your end, I'm quite sure. And maybe the invitation for that thing to get through.
I wish I could. And he basically puts both hands flat onto the pass, and he says, and he pushes. You can tell he pushes. Mm-hmm. Why can't I get back in? How did I get out of there in the first place?
Exactly. I think that thing kicked you out. It got strong enough that it could push you out. And honestly, I'm still quite sure that thing was the one that we've seen in our room. It wasn't very strong. Not as strong as you, not nearly as strong.
You mean the thing that is behind there? It
Maybe.
from behind the portal managed to get to your room? How? Because that means it's already here.
Maybe. Just have patience. We will get help. We at least have people that know about
I think we do need
portals.
a priest. And a couple of nuns. Nuns are good. I've met some nuns in my time. Very
They're
strict.
feisty. Yeah, they're feisty and strict, I can tell you that. Well, we have a mix of people to come, I'm quite sure. A few might be more military fighting people, just in case. Will not hurt. But there are portals in other places, and at least some of them we know how to close and handle them. We not me or my friend, but at least others.
All right.
So, while we wait, what is your name? I'm Amelie. And my friend is Celeste.
Gilbert.
Gilbert. Really nice to meet you, although it would be nicer to have met you under much nicer circumstances.
He smiles at you and he says, likewise.
It's impressive that you, as well as the Count, all stuck around for that long to save the world.
We took a vow. You see, every knight hopes that one day he will be appointed a task, a quest, a holy quest. I was too young to join in the Crusades, so I was very happy to be given this opportunity.
But it's such a big load to carry. Not everyone would be strong enough to do, even though they would try.
He hoists up his shield and he says, I fight in the name of he who says I am.
If he's out there, he will be mighty proud of you.
He decides not to mention that it's not if he's out there. You believe that this young man's faith cannot be shaken by you so easily because he's managed to stand in the face
thing
of
is, I
whoever.
think in this case, Amelie was not trying to shake his belief, but it's more just she's still, let's say she's skeptical to the idea. But, well, we've seen crazy things, so what else is out there? Well, it might take a few minutes. She will look back as well to see if she can see a Celeste, hopefully not tumbling down her.
So after...
Please
Oh, oh God, a double one. She
God.
does. You hear a crashing sound. You hear, ow. You hear, and then...
wait a second. I will
very
run over and try to help her.
And then basically a head pops up, a very disheveled...
Let's clean you up a
The
little
next time you do this. She comes back, she
I'm
says...
so sorry.
All right, so the news is they're gonna be here in an hour. They take it in 2 hours. They're gonna take a helicopter.
Oh, then it's a helicopter. We will wait and we will keep Gilbert company.
All right. So, oh, by the way, Gilbert, my name is Celeste. She sticks out her hand and he says, Celeste, what a heavenly name. And she smiles. Yes, it's actually Celeste Marie. And of course, so...
That's the perfect.
Oh, yes, yes.
Amelie can't get with that.
No. And yeah, and then I think we shall leave it here because we will then see what happens when the cavalry literally arrives.
So we will have a chit chat with a 1,000-year-old ghost.
Yeah, or demon, or whatever that thing is. And well, he's definitely a ghost. So whatever the other thing is, we shall see.
Let's be curious.
Okay, then I thank you very, very much for playing the game. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you for the story. It's so much fun. I'm curious how and what will be on the other side if we tear down this wall.
We shall see, and we wish you all a pleasant evening, night, and stay safe, and we'll talk again in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.